Is it ever this one? This is the one that I wanted to play. This looked like a very reasonable version of the deck and a pretty smart build. So okay, so it's now available on Stream Decker, Blue-Red Delver, pretty standard main deck with the 1 Brainstorm 2 Gush package for the late game. All the other cantrips are present. 4 Scrat and 3 Lightning Wood is pretty standard. And yeah, the interesting parts are the sideboard where they have Annul, which I'm a huge fan of, and also they do have Relic of Progenitus here, which I'm not necessarily a fan of, but I'll just trust in Utah's judgment and try this version out. Considering that this is one of the strongest Pauper decks in the format, it's kind of surprising I haven't given it much attention so far. But yeah, have to play it at some point and learn to get good at it, so I have a little bit more flexibility, and also it might improve my understanding of some matchups to be playing them from the other side. So Blue-Red Delver it is, and let's hope to spare some people out. I'll put the deck list on screen once again though. Yeah, you can check out the Stream Decker as well. I guess this the deck is just way too concentrated on 1-drops for it to be well displayable in this type of setup, and you can't move cards around because once you're searching for an opponent, Magic Online locks in the deck list, which is slightly unfortunate. But yeah, arguably the best deck in the format, maybe the second or third best depending on how highly you rank Red-White Monarch and Tyler Stripe. But yeah, a lot of discussion about whether a ban is necessary to keep this deck in check or not, and what card would be banned in case you do ban something. I think a ban is not necessary at the moment. The metagame is in a pretty healthy state, and a lot of decks are capable of adapting to this deck being the main target to hit. Red-White Monarch's uprising recently has been largely because it does do a good job at beating this up. And you can tech like Electricity and Battle Screech, and it's pretty difficult for a Delver to fight on all of those without also putting some highly unreliable cards into your own deck. Like Electricity is great against Battle Screech, but you don't really want to be drawing them when you're facing down Core Skyfisher. And like Annul is good at countering Prophetic Prisms and Alchemist Vow to stop the Core Skyfisher Glinthawk engine from running, but then if your board is getting hit with Electricity, then Annul also doesn't help you, so it's pretty difficult to adapt to all of the different angles which Red-White is attacking you on. Yeah, I think my ban would be Spellstutter Sprite if you want to hit this deck, but Ninja and Spellstutter Sprite kind of go hand in hand, so banning either of them kind of makes the other weaker, though I think the deck was still very strong when Ninja of the Deep Hours was bugged out and Spellstutter was still working to its full potential. So I think Spellstutter is the more impactful ban and the better ban. I think I just run out Fairy. Yeah, I have to get a feeling for like how aggressively I should be playing each matchup, when I should be cantripping. Like I can use the Ponder to make sure my Augur hits. That seems like a strange timing and target. They should at least like wait to my main phase and respect Ninja so that they can machete it down. I mean, they played around Sprite, but it's very likely they have higher impact spells in their deck that they would rather resolve. Seems strange. So, what did they do with their scry? That's actually interesting. Top, okay. The upside of tapping out for Augur here is that I can answer any of their 2-mana creatures with the Scrat, and I would prefer to not Spellstutter those. The downside is they can potentially follow up with, say, a Searing Blaze or a Curse or something, and then I would prefer to have Spellstutter open. Yeah, I think I'll pass with Spellstutter, but it's very close. Rift Bolt, okay, that's unfortunate for me. So yeah, they're punishing me pretty badly for keeping the Spellstutter open. Wait, oh, that was terrible. What the hell? Okay, that was just like a misclick, misplay. Obviously had to get Mountain there so that I can now play untapped Mountain and keep all of this open. So basically I'm cutting myself off of the ability to ponder by misclicking or like brain farting there. That was awful. Well, time to pay a little bit more attention. No, they shouldn't be playing into Spellstutter, but I'm still buying myself a ton of time by keeping it open. And they do have a ton of sorceries in the deck. Yeah, that resolves. Even though Spellstuttering it would also be nice, but okay, that one I Spellstutter. Also, they cannot Lightning Bolt my creature down to make it resolve, so 2-drops are much more difficult to Spellstutter here than 1-drops. So that was great for me. They did get a ton of damage out of their Firebrand Archer, which is unfortunate. Counterspell is something I'm interested in, but I'm also missing land drops. I guess I can shuffle the second Ponder, okay. It's not going to be used for this turn, but my opponent's kind of running out of cards in hand, so having a counterspell should be beneficial to me. Ninja, Scrat, Island, yeah, decent. I would rather have an extra counter, but this makes my Augur hit. I can start creating card advantage with the Ninja, and most importantly, I can Ninja this Spellstutter sprite back to my hand and then have multiple pieces of interaction from there. So feel pretty nice about my position here. Well, that is scratable. That is regrettable for my opponent, because I now Augur into Scrat and keep Counterspell open. And then next turn I set up Ninja, Spellstutter. Yeah, this feels pretty absurd. The deck is gas. And one of the reasons you should probably not be playing Burn in the meta, because this matchup is pretty Delver favored, and you shouldn't really be playing anything that cannot beat as a Delver. Do I care? I mean, it's pretty nice for me to cash in my counterspell when, yeah, I think I'll counter it even though it's low impact. I mean, it's about as high impact as most of their other spells. Might be stranding some needle drops in my opponent's hand. But yeah, the main reason is I want to be spending my mana, so next turn I can freely Ninja and then use my Spellstutter, all that. Like a counter spell in hand that I don't have the mana to cast doesn't really help me at all, right? Wait, cancel. This is what I want to do so that I can also draw into Lightning Bolt or Scrat. Okay, we win. No, but I knew the Scrat was on top of my deck, so Augur just drew me into the Scrat. Well, I guess I can... Yeah, I can Ninja so that I also draw the Scrat, but I wanted to make sure the Augur hits. I'm not sure. Maybe Ninja was better. But I'm also getting more damage in this way, so I close out the game a little bit faster. Because instead of... Not certain, maybe that was better. Okay, so Hydro Blast are coming in. Yeah, probably it was better to Ninja. But I opened myself up to like disruption on my turn. The Augur is kind of... Oh no, they had already not done anything. Yeah, it's probably correct. It's probably correct. It's not actually the faster clock because I'm removing 1 power and adding 1 power. And like the Augur sticks around, and then my Spellstutter also sticks around and connects. I don't think the clock difference was very big. It might actually be the slower clock depending on how the sequencing in the following turns works out. Because the Spellstutter was not necessarily going to be committed back to the board right away. And Null's probably way too low impact, only hitting the curse. And yeah, so 2 Hydroblast, what do I cut? I can see, why do I have mismatched gushs with just 2? I guess I bought one for vintage and then bought a second one for Pauper at a later point. I can see cutting like 1 or 2 of these because they don't have that many creatures. And like the augurs are pretty clunky and the gushes are pretty clunky. So gushes in the mid game allow me to draw into more counters so I don't get randomly burned out. Yeah, I think I'll cut like 1 gush, 1 scred and see where that gets me. But none of this is like highly scientific, I'm just trying things out and learning a new deck as well. This hand seems great though. I still need a red source for my scred eventually, but Ferry into Spellstutter is just a great setup. Obviously much better on the play, but still it should be a great setup on the draw. And if they play a threatening creature here, once again much at my face main phase. Seems pretty surprising. They really valued resolving the Scry 2 very highly, and now I could theoretically start hitting them with the ninja, and then they're kind of forced into hitting my creature with a burn spell, and I already get the card draw in. If they just keep Magma Jet open, I can't do that. I'm not certain it's correct, but would be an interesting turn of events, basically. Kind of puts my opponent on the back foot. Okay, I want to try it out. This might be incorrect, but I want to see how the matchup plays out when I do this. Kind of when I put my opponent on the back foot and make them react to me. And card advantage wise, it's not that bad. Yeah, if I find the 3rd land, I get to redeploy the Fairy and then keep Spellstutter open. Okay. That's pretty bad, assuming I find a red source. And I can like preordain into it, potentially. Unless they go like untapped land, Chain Lightning Dash or something. But then they're also not taking full advantage of their Thermal Alchemist. Okay, that does not seem great for my opponent. I guess I'll preordain, and after the shuffle, I ponder first, and then if I shuffle, the preordain is better at finding the red source without forcing myself into drawing some bad cards to go with it. I mean, all of these are decent, but I think I'll shuffle for the red source. Spellstutter number 2 would be pretty great, though. Okay. Guess I can end up Hydroblasting the Thermal Alchemist if I don't find a red source, and if I do, I would rather scred it. Bottom, none of these seem particularly useful. And try to blast it away without persistent damage draw, so it should be difficult for my opponent to kill me at all when some of their spells get countered. And they're also missing land drops, so they do have 5 spells stuck in their hand. That's the bad news. Did end up finding the 2nd Spellstutter regardless, even after shuffling the Ponder. Searing Blaze, okay. Annoying, but I do have all the fairy synergies the world has to offer already in my hand. So would I rather Augur or keep 2 Spellstutters open, or Fairy Miscreant? Yeah, probably just Fairy Miscreant. It's very mana inefficient, but it does allow me to potentially Spellstutter a 2-drop. And with double Spellstutter open, I would still have to put both of them onto the board to counter a 2-drop. Not sure, and this also has the upside of Scred fitting really well into my curve. If they find a 2nd creature, yeah, perfect. Now they're likely to cast a sorcery into my Spellstutter if they have one, because they want to get value out of that before it gets scredded. Yeah, perfect. This matchup's so easy, and this deck is so dumb. Yeah, game's just over. I think the ninja turn 2 worked out pretty nicely, though some of that was that they didn't have steering blades right away or gambled on the fact that their thermal alchemist might stick around. What the hell? Okay. That's pretty aggressive. Fire Blast in response for the 5 damage, but now they're on 1 mana source. They should be unable to win from here. So, do I even want to bounce something? Probably don't, because I want all the fairies on the board for, well, yeah, probably next turn I'll ninja, because then I can augur and keep spell stutter open, and the augur might find me like a hydroblast. Well, I missed, but sure. Yeah, resolving the, well, if I am at a lower life total, I can see doing it, but yeah, bringing me to 9 and resolving the Fire Blast just does absolutely nothing. They're just incredibly wrecked here, and now they're bottlenecked on mana as well, so that they can never get out of my ninja spell stutter lock again. Game is just very over. Then get to Gush post combat, replay my island. Yeah, GG.